I tricked the #1 ranked player in the tournament in the opening. This was not an opening trap that I had prepared or studied ahead of time. I stumbled into it in the middle of the game. My opponent is rated over 2,400 FIDE. He's international master level strength. He's just waiting on his final IM norm. Let's see what happened and how I got into a winning position by move 12. Let's take a look. I'm playing with the black pieces. I'm playing against Sharvesh Devi Prasad, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Sorry if I messed that up. He plays the move B3. And this is kind of a weird move. This is not played very often. So on move 1, I was kind of like, okay, what am I going to do against this? This is not like something that I've really studied too much. And I remember I watched a video a long time ago by John Bartholomew. Shout out to John. You should definitely check out his channel if you haven't. Fantastic content over there. He's a great player, international master. But I saw in one of his videos that he played D5 and bishop to G4. And apparently there's some theory around this move, which I know nothing about, okay? The only thing that I thought is that they were going to play like H3 and G4, something like that. This is what I was expecting. But Sharvesh immediately played F3. And I was like, okay, well, that's new. I guess I'm just going to go back. So I just retreated the bishop. I mean, what am I going to do? The engine says actually it's better to go to F5, apparently. But I went here. He played knight H3. And I realized he's trying to go here to trap my bishop. And I didn't want to give up the bishop pair so early. So I played the move F6 so that when the knight happens to move there, which it did, I can now go bishop to F7. It's tucked away. It helps support the center and kind of controls everywhere that the knight would like to go to. Okay, fine. Then he plays the move D4. And now I realized what's the point. He's trying to stop E5 because now there's two attackers. I only have one defender. And he's got this knight positioned where it can continue to put pressure on D5. It can also jump back to D3 if needed, maybe even hop into these squares at some point in the future if they open up. And he wants to play probably E4 and C4 and get a nice big center. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I knew I wanted to play the move E5, right? Because that looks great. I mean, I get the center, I attack the knight. So I'm thinking to myself, let me go knight C6 and then set it up. Then I was like, if he plays E4, what am I doing? Because if I play E5 straight away, I thought now maybe he just takes here and we just get a bunch of trades. And I was like, that doesn't look particularly great for me. And then I was thinking, what if I trade here first? What if I trade here first and then play E5? But then I realized he could play D5 first. And now if I go there, there's en passant. And yes, I can trade queens and castle and put my bishop back on E8. But I was like, is this good for me? I was having a hard time evaluating this position. Like, yeah, on one hand, I'm castled. He's not. My rook's on an open file. That's cool. But I'm like, all my pieces are on the back. I mean, I couldn't evaluate. I'm like, I don't think that's great for me. I just wasn't sure. And so I was like, there must be something like better, there must be something else. And I don't even know why. I just randomly was like, what if I just, play E5 anyway and just try to like sack a pawn? And my initial thought process was, well, if he takes, I'm going to play knight C6. And if he takes here, I'm pretty happy. I get some nice development and I'm down a pawn, but I have open files. And I'm like, this is kind of like how I like to play chess, Then I'm like, wait a second. He's not going to take, he's going to play E6 and my bishop's trapped. This is no good. And then I realized, oh, I just take the pawn. And then I can play knight C6. And when he goes back, then I can play knight F6 and we get the same position. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, that looks like a pretty good idea. I should probably do it. And so I thought about it for a while and I did. I played E5. And the thing is, if he doesn't take it, what is he going to play? His knight's under attack. You can go back here, but that's really awkward. You're blocking your queen. Your knight is wasting a lot of time. And I have a bunch of moves that look pretty good. E4 is one option, gaining space, and it's awkward for white. I could even probably just take here and attack the bishop with something like that. I mean, I have lots of good moves. So he takes it. I took. He took. I played knight C6, just like I calculated. He goes back, and I played knight F6. And now he plays the move E3. And I'm sitting there going, that looks like a weakness to me. I might not be a grandmaster, right? But I at least can see weaknesses. And that looks like one. There's no pawn here. There's no pawn here. The bishop has already been moved off this diagonal. Okay, bishop C5. Attack the weakness. He plays queen D2. I'm like, still looks like a weakness. Queen E7. Attack the weakness. And I'm like, what is he going to play? How is he going to defend this pawn? It's not easy, right? So what does he do? He plays the move king F2. Now, it is move 12. And you guys can see the eval bar. Minus 3.2. That is completely winning. Okay? That is completely winning. And right here, my initial plan in this position was to castle, either this way or this way. And I wasn't exactly sure which way. I was still kind of thinking through that. Because on one hand, castling kingside looks really nice because the rook is now lined up on the king. And I could pretty easily play g5, chase the knight, move my bishop, and generate some sort of discovered X-ray attacks on the king. Like, that's pretty good. This also looks pretty good. I felt like then I'm away from the bishop. My king might be a little safer, but also having the rook on the d file is nice because I could play d4 and open things up here, and then the other rook could come over, right? So both of these moves look good to me. And I was kind of thinking, like, hey, which one I want to do? And then the more I looked at it, the position, I was like, wait a second. If I could play knight g4, this would be nasty. Of course, he's going to take me, but what if I had my other knight there to support that? And then I also realized, if I did this and he took, there's also knight e4 check, which forks the king and the queen. So I thought about it, and I came to the conclusion that he was going to have to play h3 to stop this. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to play knight e5, and then I'm going to castle. And I'm basically going to get the same position if I castle now, except I'm going to get this move thrown in for free. Why not? Played knight e5. It's a mistake because I failed to realize now I can play bishop d4. And before, bishop d4 was not really a great move. So for example, if I would have just castled, this is the best move. And he plays bishop d4 now, guess what? I can just take it with the knight. He loses the valuable bishop. Game goes on. Apparently, knight e4 check is completely winning according to the engine, but I can also play other moves like dropping the bishop back, like bringing the rook straight over and sacrificing and keep attacking that way. Knight e4 check is winning. Let's see what the line is. I actually didn't analyze this yet. Let's see. We take. We're threatening a fork. He goes back. We push the pawn. He moves the queen. Now we take here. I mean, you can see it's really bad. We're taking the rook. This king is in trouble, basically. Okay, so that's basically it. Take there and push the pawn forward and win the game. So he didn't have bishop d4 before. But now I play knight e5. Guess what? He has bishop d4. He plays this. And I'm like, that's kind of annoying. He's stopping me. But to be completely honest with you guys, at this point, I'm still thinking in my mind, obviously I don't have the eval bar. I'm still thinking, I'm winning this game. This is still a win. I played knight e4 check, the first brilliant move of the game. And the point is, if he takes my knight, thank you very much. I'm coming in with the fork, and I'm going to pick up the queen. Okay. So where's he going to move? If he goes back here, you guys see what we can do? That's correct. We just take the pawn. Because we have 1, 2, 3 attackers. He only has 2 defenders. He takes here, we take here. Look at this, is nasty. He's about to get checkmated here. This is very nasty. I'm winning, right? So that's not a good move. King e1, same deal. I'm going to take it. It's not a good move. Take it with the knight, or you can even trade the bishop first, then take it. King g3. I mean, I didn't even calculate this. I'm like, no, there must be a win here, and there is lots of moves. Apparently, g5 is the best. Probably would have figured this out if he would have played here, but... So the only move he has is king e2, which he played, king e2, because he still defends the pawn. Okay. I played bishop d6. I don't want to just trade everything. I'm putting the pressure on his knight, so that if he takes my knight now, I'm going to take his knight. All right, fine. He goes g3, defending the knight. I played c5. I'm just continuing to increase the pressure. And again, at this point, I'm pretty confident that I must be winning. I have a great position. I just have to keep the pressure up. Don't slow down. Keep attacking. That was what was going in through my mind. Like, just keep the pressure up as much as I can. Don't slow down. He goes back. Okay. Right here, I don't even really know exactly how to explain to you guys what I was thinking. I was like, every move I wanted to be a tempo move. That's what was going through my mind. So I played g5. I'm like, I don't want to slow down. I want to keep kicking the piece. I'm going to kick the knight. Then I'm going to play d4, keep putting pressure on. I'm not even going to take a minute to breathe. The engine doesn't like this move. And the engine says, no, dude, you got to play d4 or just castle. That's what the engine wants me to just play d4 or castle. But I played g5. Okay, he goes back. And now I have to make a decision what to do with this knight. Because now he's going to take the knight if I don't move it. And so probably I could just go back and we're going to get some trades, but I still have a really nice position. His king is still stuck in the center of the board, which is really bad, right? Engine says the best move is the castle. Not exactly sure what's the point. Now we play knight e4, and there's some ideas of this, and if we can chase the knight, and it's still a really nice position for us. Okay. I played d4. And my idea was, I wanted to put pressure here, even at the cost of the knight, which he did take. But I'm like, I'm coming in here with my knight next move. You can't stop me. Surely this is going to be winning, right? I missed one thing, that he can just play king d1 and king c1. And in my mind, I thought, no, this can't be so good for white. I'm going to castle. I'm going to put a rook here. I'm going to play b5 and c4, and I'm going to checkmate the king. How hard can it be? Like, that's what my mind was thinking, right? Watch what happens. First, I start with bishop d5. I'm like, this is a free tempo move. You know, hits the rook, opens up the f file, which I thought was going to be beneficial. And then I castled, because now I'm attacking the bishop. Where's the bishop going to go? Here, it gets captured. If it goes to h3, I play g4. Grab it. So only move bishop e2. Okay. Now I'm thinking to myself, my position is still great. I mean, look at this. His rook is stuck. His knight is stuck. His king is in the middle. This rook's not doing anything. His pieces just look really, really bad. My pieces look amazing. I'm going to bring a rook. I'm going to do this. I'm going to win the game. I played b5. And I completely missed his next move. Completely missed it. You want to pause? What do you think he played? Knight to c3. Now, one of the things that I just said I like about my position is his pieces are not in the game. I thought he was going to maybe try knight a3, and I was going to play a6 and say, your knight is stuck, right? Knight c3. This is a good square for the knight if he can actually get away with this. But wait a second, there's a pawn there, right? Here's what I realized. If I take it, queen takes c3, and I did see this. And initially I thought, it's not actually checkmate. I'm going to be able to run away. I don't have to worry. But the more I looked at it, the more I was like, wait a second. If this happens, he takes the pawn, he trades the queens. I'm not in a good ending. It's basically equal pieces. I'm down a pawn, and my attack now without the queen is probably not going to be successful. So I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. Knight c3. What a great move, right? Okay. Apparently here, the engine says I need to play c4. Just go with the attack now. You did it. You set it up. Just continue. Instead, I was like, well, I don't really want him to trade too many pieces. Let me just go back here. And I kind of was thinking I had plenty of time still. I'm like, I don't really see much. What's he going to do? a4. Second brilliant move. Because he's letting me take the knight. Because again, I don't want to take the knight. I don't want to take the knight, right? That's a problem. But I also don't want to let this rook into the game. Because now all of a sudden his pieces are slowly crawling into the game. I'm like, okay. So I calculated for a bit. c4. Now, we have an absolutely crazy looking position. I got both of his knights under attack. He's attacking here. I mean, this is wild stuff. All right. My idea is, I don't care about this. I'm just wanting to take these knights and clear out the path to the king. Like that's basically it. He takes me anyway. He just ignores it. He leaves both of his knights under attack and takes here. And I'm sitting here going, well, I don't want to take this knight because we've already talked about it. This is nasty. I don't want to deal with this, right? But I'm thinking to myself, I just won't take that one. Take the other one. And then, he's going to do something, and I'm going to move my bishop somewhere and keep attacking. The game's going to go on. He takes with the queen. I thought he was going to take with the bishop. He takes with the queen. I'm like, aha. Now he's going to take here. That's interesting. My bishop's also under attack. That's also interesting. So here I got an idea. And my idea was this. I'm going to play bishop e8. I'm going to reroute the bishop to g6 and target the c2 square with my knight and pair that with a rook or a queen on the c file, and surely this is going to be fantastic for me. And I realized that he could do this. Oh, sorry, we didn't get there yet. One more move. He played knight to d1. He saves his knight. He attacks here. And now I played bishop g6. And I realized that he could take this. But I wasn't worried about it because my plan was to take here with a fork. And I said, he's going to check me. I'm going to move here. His queen's under attack. His rook's under attack. Even if he does force a queen trade, I'm like, I must have compensation here. My rook's going to come over. Look at his king. I mean, this is very dangerous for the king. My pieces are super active. I was happy with this position. The problem is, He's not going to play queen h8. He's going to play bishop c4 check first. And when I block, now my king no longer has an escape square. And guess what? This is checkmate. That's what I missed. So when he took on d4, I suddenly realized, wait a second, I can't play knight takes c2. Which means, what am I going to play? What am I going to play? I played bishop c5. I played bishop c5. He throws in the check anyway. Now I can take it with my knight, which I did. But now he takes here. And look at what's happening to my king. My king is trapped, which means I have to block. I don't want to block with the queen and lose my queen. If I go here, he could take the bishop or even just queen c3. Basically anything that I do, the queen's going to c3. Third brilliant move. By the way, his rook's under attack. He doesn't care because he's threatening checkmate. Doesn't matter. I played rook f6. I tried to block it off, hoping for some sort of trades and maybe going into an endgame where I could survive. For example, I was hoping for like this. Oops, sorry, not there. This takes, you know, and maybe we get lucky. We get some pawns. Who knows, right? He played a much stronger move, rook e1. I played bishop b4, trying to mix it up a little bit. There's no good moves. I'm losing. We trade. I set one final trap. I was hoping he takes my rook. You guys see what my trick is? As correct, I'd have rook takes c2, and I would actually have a draw in this position because I can keep checking in with the bishop, keep checking in with the rook, and basically go back and forth, all right? Obviously, that's pretty basic to see. He played king b2. I played a few more moves. Came over here, took the pawn, he defended, and right here I resigned. He's going to push this and get a queen, and the game is over. I'll show you the game review, and then I'll talk about my thoughts. So here's the game review. He had 3 brilliant moves. I had 1. You could see right around this area, I was totally winning. That's when I should have castled. Let's go back to that moment for just a second. That's when I should have castled. Yeah, right here. Right here. If I just castle queenside, I'm very good chances that I could win this game, right? But I thought I saw something. I missed bishop d4, and it was a small thing, and then it was a small thing later, and it was a small thing later, and a few small things in a row. Next thing you know, my advantage is completely gone. Obviously, my opponent is very strong, right? Like, you don't get to that level by just getting beat easily. And on one hand, I'm really happy with how this game went. I got into a winning position. Fantastic out of the opening, right? On the other hand, I'm very disappointed. Like, come on, Nelson, you have to do better if you get in a position like this. You have to do better, right? Take the time, slow down, and figure it out. That's what I should have. And I wasn't like rushing. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to play super fast. But I didn't take enough time, and I could have spent more time. And so, tough game in a way. I like I said, I'm happy with how it went. But let me know what you guys think. Anyway, we got 2 points, and we'll see how round 4 goes. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Stay sharp, play smart. Take care.